Did you know the world uses more than 44 million tons of tissue every year? In the US, the average person goes through over 100 rolls annually, fueling a global market worth over $100 billion. It's a product we reach for daily, often without a second thought, yet the scale of production is enormous. So here's the question. How does something so common manage to reach every home in such staggering quantities? Well, let's uncover all that here at The Process World. Every tissue's journey starts deep in the forest. Specialized timber harvesters, weighing around 18 tons, take on the heavy work. These machines can cut down a tree, strip its branches, and slice the trunk into sections in less than a minute. What they collect isn't premium wood for furniture, it's the crooked and less valuable trunks that are perfect for processing into pulp. Once the trees are cut, they're hauled to the mill, stacked, and prepared for the next stage of production. Alongside fresh timber, factories also rely heavily on recycled paper. Sorting machines separate usable fibers from plastics, cardboard, and other waste, processing hundreds of tons of material every day. By combining wood and recycled sources, the industry secures a steady flow of raw material to keep up with global demand. By the time these raw materials reach the mill, the real transformation begins, and the first step is preparing the logs for pulping. In this stage, the outer bark is stripped away in giant rotating drums, leaving behind clean wood that can actually be processed into paper. Bark is removed carefully because it doesn't produce good fibers and can cause serious wear on the equipment. Once the logs are clean, they're sent through a water bath. This rinse clears away stones, sand, or soil that might have clung to the wood. Any bits of metal hiding inside the logs are also screened out with powerful detectors. Even a single nail or screw could damage expensive factory machinery, so nothing is left to chance. With the bark gone and the logs thoroughly cleaned, it's time to cut them down into small, uniform pieces. Massive wood chippers take on this task, using rotating knives to slice the timber into chips only a few centimeters long. Once the wood chips are ready, the real transformation begins. You see, those chips are loaded into enormous tanks known as digesters, where they're cooked with chemicals under heat and pressure. This process breaks apart the chips, separating out the cellulose fibers that will become the backbone of the paper. Each batch takes several hours, and from about 25 tons of chips, roughly 15 tons of usable pulp is produced. The rest is made up of water and lignin, the natural glue that normally binds wood fibers together. Recycled paper goes through its own journey before it can join the process. Sorting machines pull out plastics, cardboard, and other debris using sensors and blasts of air. The paper that remains is washed in large industrial systems, broken down into fibers, and passed through sieves to filter out tiny impurities. Heavy particles like sand or splinters are removed with centrifuges, while leftover ink is stripped away with a foamy wash. The result is a grayish pulp, which is then treated with bleach and diluted with water until it's clean and ready to mix. By combining pulp from fresh wood and recycled paper, factories create a fiber mix that balances strength, softness, and absorbency. This pulp is the true starting point of every tissue, and from here, the pace of production will only accelerate. In places like Egypt and Turkey, mills often blend imported pulp with locally collected recycled paper to create their fiber mix. This approach keeps production costs manageable while meeting the fast-rising demand for tissues in growing urban populations. With the pulp prepared, it's time for one of the most impressive parts of the process, the paper machine. But before we continue, please leave a like and subscribe for more amazing videos like this one. Now moving on. Stretching over 100 meters long, this machine can turn watery pulp into a sheet of paper in just 7 seconds. It starts with the slurry being poured onto a moving mesh belt called the fourdrinier wire. Here, water drains away while the fibers interlock to form a thin mat. Next, the wet sheet travels through powerful press rollers that squeeze out more moisture, creating what's known as the wet web. This stage gives the sheet more density and strength before it moves into the drying section. Heated rollers evaporate the remaining water, leaving behind a continuous sheet of dry paper. To smooth things out, ironing rollers press the surface, removing creases and giving it a uniform look. The highlight comes with the Yankee dryer, a massive heated cylinder where the paper is dried and then crepped. Crepping involves scraping the paper off the dryer with a sharp blade, which gives tissues their softness, flexibility, and slightly crinkled texture. Once the giant reels of paper are ready, the next challenge is turning them into the neat tissues we're used to pulling from a box or pack. These reels can weigh several tons, so specialized machines unwind them carefully, feeding the continuous sheet into the conversion line. Here the paper is cut down, folded, and given the softness and texture that make tissues so comfortable to use. Embossing is one of the key steps. Steel rollers press tiny patterns into the sheet, creating the dotted designs you often see on tissues. These designs increase volume, improve absorbency, and make the tissue feel softer in your hand. Depending on the product, layers of paper are stacked together to create 2-ply or 3-ply tissues, giving them extra strength without losing delicacy. Folding comes next. Machines use suction and precise timing to interleave or V-fold the tissues, making them easy to pull out one at a time. This is followed by log cutting, where the folded stacks are sliced into smaller, consistent lengths. By the time this stage is done, the tissues have gone from enormous factory reels to carefully prepared stacks, ready for the final step, packaging. For household use, one of the most common formats is the pop-up box. Here, tissues are stacked and loaded into cardboard cartons with a perforated opening on top. This simple design makes it easy to pull one sheet while the next is lifted into place. Soft packs are another popular option, especially for travel or daily carry. These are made by sealing stacks of tissues in thin plastic wraps, keeping them compact and lightweight. Advanced wrapping machines handle this process at high speeds, ensuring every pack is sealed tight to protect the product from moisture or contamination. Over the years, packaging has also become a tool for branding and design. Decorative boxes, printed logos, and seasonal themes help products stand out and fit into a home's style. More recently, companies have been moving toward eco-friendly solutions, replacing plastic with recyclable paper packaging and using minimalist designs to reduce waste. Beyond the aesthetics, the goal is always the same: protect the tissues, keep them hygienic, and deliver them in a way that suits different lifestyles. And that's it. Now that you know the story behind the making of these tissues, here's a question for you. If something as small as a tissue takes this much effort and technology, what other everyday product do you think might have an even bigger secret hiding in its factory process? Share your thoughts in the comments section below, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos like this one.